Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
It's Monday, and all of our guests today, including Elliotte Friedman, standing by. Sponsored by Basant Motors. Basant is the home of No Tax November. Let Basant pay that pesky GST on your next vehicle purchase. Stop by their dealership at Simple. It's located at 16315 Fraser Highway in Surrey. Or check them out online at basantmotors.com. Avalanche defeating the Canucks 5-4 in overtime in the wake of the Avalanche crushing the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton 9-1 on Saturday. Here to talk about that and other matters NHL from Hockey Night in Canada and the 32 Thoughts podcast, Elliotte Friedman. Elliotte, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I just had some butter chicken, so everything is fantastic.
Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
Any recommendations restaurant-wise in
Toronto
that serves up a good butter chicken?
The place I'm at right here is called Angara. It's supposed to be one of the better places, and I got to tell you, the food was fantastic.
Oh. All right. Well, now you're ready to talk to us. So it all works out. Here,
yes.
What's going on with the Oilers, Elliotte, other than losing 9-1 to Colorado? Are they looking for a goaltender? What are they going to do to fix this thing? And we're talking about a team that has made it to the Stanley Cup final the last 2 years.
Well, first of all, I think we all understand, Don, that they haven't been a great starting team in the last couple of years. I think also, there's a little bit of, hey, we'll be fine. As you mentioned, we've been in the Stanley Cup final twice in a row. We have a couple of nuclear weapons on our roster. Yeah. Hyman hasn't played a game yet. But I think they've been way too laissez-faire. They haven't played with any energy. They haven't played with any spirit. And I know the goaltending is a thing, and I understand everybody's concerns, but you look at some of the quality of the goals they're giving up, people are just walking right down the ice and doing whatever they want against them. They have 6 blown 2-goal leads this year. And you look at some of those goals the other night against Colorado, we all know the Avalanche are a great team, but you got to try to check them. They did whatever they wanted. And, I think a lot of it, they don't have Evander Kane anymore, and I know Kane's struggled in his start in Vancouver, but they don't have Corey Perry anymore either, and he's off to a great start with the Kings. It's not the 80s anymore, Don, but at the end of that game the other night, it just, nobody did anything. Nobody tried to start anything. Nobody tried to run over somebody. I think the Oilers have to rediscover some passion here. That, when I look at them, for all their other issues, for me, they're very blah and meh to start the season.
Well, what do you think of the Canucks? Let's talk about them. Elliotte, no trade yet. We know why there's no trades. It's quiet around the league. Parity's up. A lot of teams are banged up. Yep. What are you hearing about the Canucks on the trade front, Elliotte?
Well, look, we're going to repeat this until it happens, Rick. But they continue to look for a center. Every time I speak to somebody out there, just, hey, what's going on? Is there anything I'm missing? You hear a bunch of things, but one thing you always hear is Canucks still looking for a center. Canucks doing what they can to get a center. So this is going to be a story until it's over, until they get whoever that person is. What do we know? We know they don't want to trade Coots. We know they don't want to trade their first rounder. So I think if they were to trade that first, it would be for a young center with term or team control. How many of those guys are available out there? Not many. I'll say this though, Rick. They play hard, man. Yep. On Saturday night, that game could have gone in a lot of different directions. They won it. There were a lot of excuses for them not to get a point last night. Yep. They got it. For most nights, every team has their stinkers and their bad games, but most nights that team plays really hard, and we're just going to be on the center chase until it actually happens.
Well, Canucks Twitter, Elliotte. A lot of people freaking out about Demko not dressing on the weekend. What are your thoughts about Demko going forth?
Well, first of all, I thought that there was absolutely, especially after they got the win on Saturday, there was zero reason to play him on Sunday.
Right.
I got to tell you this, Rick. I would much rather people freak out on Twitter, which is what fans do, and that's which is what fans do, and that's totally fine. I would much rather people freak out on Twitter than I dress Thatcher Demko when he shouldn't be dressing.
Right.
Like if something's bothering him or he doesn't feel right, you know what? That's why you've got Kevin Lankinen. Yeah. You can play him.
Bingo.
And I just feel that take your time, relax, don't do anything you're going to regret. You know, I understand the concerns. Like, it doesn't seem like they're too worried about what Demko is dealing with right now or whatever it is. But, Rick, you know, people are like, we've heard this before. So I understand the worry. I understand the skepticism. Don't fool around with this. You've got Lankinen. Just be smart and wait. If you have for me, it's almost like with Demko. If you get to a situation where he feels good, you say, you know what, Thatcher, let's wait one more day. I think that's the smartest way to play it.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm looking at the top NHL point getters. I see a couple of Vancouver kids there. Macklin Celebrini, Elliotte, and Connor Bedard. Boy, oh boy, what a great start for both those kids.
Boy, you trying to? Are you on luring them back to Vancouver already?
No, that's a group of guys on Twitter. Yeah, no kidding.
It's phenomenal. You know, Rick and Don, I think one of the things I like about the start of this league is that there's new teams and new players to watch.
Yeah.
Like in the last few years, you're kind of watching a lot of the same teams. Like now I'm watching Anaheim. Now I'm watching San Jose. Now I'm watching more of Montreal. Now I was watching obviously a bit of Detroit. Like there's Pittsburgh. I'm watching Pittsburgh a lot more than I thought I was going to watch Pittsburgh. And there's like Celebrini, he's phenomenal. Bedard, he's phenomenal. Like a bunch of those Anaheim kids, they're phenomenal. And you know, I have to watch all of Patrick Allvin with Scott Oak from the weekend. And you know, it's interesting. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there saying rebuild. And you're not necessarily wrong in the sense that if you're going to win in this league or get one of those top kids, you have to do it at the top of the draft. I think the biggest challenge for teams like Calgary and Vancouver to do that is that no matter what, like I've had this conversation with a couple owners and a couple of team front office members, and they say that people will accept a rebuild, but the data indicates that that's not always true while you're going through it. Like maybe at the beginning they will, and maybe at the end. Like if Vancouver had a team like Anaheim now, the city would be buzzing and everybody would be buying tickets. But if you look at Anaheim the last few years, what scares markets like Vancouver and Calgary, and not only those two, but other markets around the league. I've heard this from places that aren't maybe in the most heavy media intense hockey markets is people say they'll support rebuilds. The data indicates that while you're in the middle of them, it's not always true.
Yeah.
Look at Chicago, financial powerhouse, and they were in the wilderness for a few years, and now they're coming out of it. And I just think that that's the thing that scares owners and teams. Is people say they'll support the rebuild, maybe at the beginning, and definitely at the end if the team comes out of it. But in the middle, it can be really financially ugly.
You know what scares a lot of people in Vancouver, Elliotte? No Stanley Cup since 1970.
Yes.
And right now, not much hope for the future. So that scares, maybe not owners, but that scares a lot of people who have been following this team, media members and fans, for a long time. What about Celebrini and Bedard and Scheifele and Suzuki? Is there enough spots on Team Canada when we're talking about going to Italy?
Can any of them play goal? You know, to me, that's the best problem to have. Like you look at Bo Horvat too.
I forgot. I'd forget him.
Don't forget, Don. Like you remember in 2022 when they were still before they canceled going to the Olympics. I believe it was Doug Armstrong who showed up in Vancouver out of nowhere to watch Bo Horvat play. Like right before they were potentially going to name the team. So they have a lot of good forwards. I don't worry about the forwards, and I really don't worry that much about the defense. but right now the goaltending, like, to me, Binnington's a lock. I don't care if he gives up 1,000 goals a game between now and then. What he did the Four Nations, like, he's a lock. And I have to think that Logan Thompson's a lock too. But, like, you look at some of those other teams, you feel a lot more comfortable with their goaltending than you do about Canada's.
Yeah, and the start has not been great for Canadian goaltenders. And just one more thing about the Ducks and their success. All those great young players, the coaching of Joel Quenneville. What are the main reasons for success down there? They win again last night.
Well, like, the thing is, like, they've got a lot of offensive talent. Like, they can, like, Donnie, they can really score. Like, Carlson is a hell of a player.
Yeah.
When Anaheim ended up with that second pick, the story goes that Pat Verbeek told his staff, we're taking Carlson. Like, you're going to have to give me a good reason not to take this guy. Wow. And they didn't get it, and they got a great player. Gauthier is just a hell of a scorer, like, just a great scorer. McTavish is a great two-way player. Like, they just have a lot of really talented young offensive players, and you just have to take your lumps until you start get there. Like, Lacombe is one of the most unknown good defensemen in the league, and that Dostal, he's a stud. Yeah. So, like, they've got a bunch of young players who are finally finding their legs. Like, look at the ass kicking Chicago took for a couple of years, and now they're finally starting to find their way. Like, I think what happens is you take your chances, you hope you hit, you hope you get a stud or two, and you have to lose. Like, basically, you lose. You get your butt kicked for a couple of years until your guys start to figure it out. Now, Donnie, it's still game 15?
Yep.
There's a long way to go here. We're going to see who's got staying power. But I look at San Jose. 2 weeks ago, they couldn't defend anybody, and now they're beating Florida 3-1. Like, you have to figure out your lessons, and you have to be able to check. And once these teams learn how to check, look out. It's big trouble.
Hockey Night in Canada intermission is brought to you by Ozempic and Angara.
I'll tell you, my buddies love it. Mm-hmm. When I end up under, like, the Ozempic banner, my phone lights up. My buddies are like, Ozempic Elliotte. Like, they love it. They just love it. They're sending me pictures. Like, there's pictures today of, like, Meghan Trainor. And they're like, me and Meghan Trainor, like, the Ozempic picture people. Like, it's crazy out there.
Yeah. I wonder what those guys look like, Elliotte.
I got to tell you something. The reason I hang out with those guys, Donnie, is definitely none of them are better looking than me.
There you go. There you go. Why do you think I'm doing this show with Rick?
Yes.
Thanks.
I get it.
Thanks for this, Elliotte. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks. You bet.